Hi guys, welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is part 4 of the Windsor and Newton watercolour markers. So I bought the full set of 36 of these watercolour markers and I'm going to be testing them in my colour books. So the first one I want to use in my Anamorphia. And I'm going to do the owl page, I think. So this looks quite good. So it is a live show. It's live Thursday, and I think this is officially my 700th video. So hopefully there's a little bit of goodness in all of them. The early ones are kind of a really bit 2 years ago. I used the same camera, but I had a headset. So hopefully they've got a little bit better. And now we stream on Ustream, which is HD. It's a lot better. So if anybody's got any requests, any suggestions, anything they'd like to see, my studio might be done by Christmas. Should have been done for last Christmas, but I might be in my new studio for next Christmas. So I thought I'd use my Windsor and Newton watercolor markers, and these are light fast. Now you don't need light fast for color books. I wanted to show that if you just had one simple thing to use, and I kind of like these. They are working really well for me, and I'm using them with my I'm getting a bit obsessed about my series 7, use them for color books, but I kind of like using them. They're very soft, they're very light. I have some old ones and I have 4 new ones. So by the mouthful of coffee. I don't know what time we're on at the second. I've tried to split the videos up because if you're streaming for a whole day, this is live stream Thursday for me. This is the 4th hour. So I started about 9 o'clock. It's now 3 o'clock. So it does tend to the voice tends to croak. So sorry guys, if you're watching on YouTube, this isn't the first video of the day. So I've got my series 7 Windsor Newton professional watercolor paintbrushes, and I've also got my Windsor Newton watercolors, and I've put them in this PU. It's a UTR 80, and it's designed to hold 80 markers. But I've got my isograph. There's quite a few videos of me using these. These are my drawing pencils, and some of these I've had for 30, 40 years nearly. So they are working quite well. If you look after them, they'll look after you. So I've got 36. They make 36 Windsor Newton watercolor markers. And so I bought all the whole set. And normally I didn't intend to. I kept saying I don't need the full set because it allows you to mix your colors yourself. But if you've got pulley hands and if you want something that's easy, you snap the top off. They come out wet, so not like tubes or like pans, which again I love. You've got to then mix them with water to get the right consistency. These pop out of here, the perfect consistency, and then you can add a drop of water as well if you want. Now on the back I have my sepia browns and blacks and greys, and on the middle section I've done it so I've got all my yellows, reds, pinks, purples, blues and greens, and that's my favorite color order. And I say I did have some paintbrushes on this other side. If you've got 90 markers, it holds 80 markers. It will hold 80 markers. And how it works is that the top zips up, and you have this kind of section here, which zips on both sides. And in the middle, because of the gap, there is enough space to hold my zipped up case that has my Windsor & Newton watercolor paintbrushes. So all in all, I really liked it. It took me a long time to find which one I wanted. There's a lot of marker ones out there, but I only wanted ever 36, but I did want them in my proper color order. So that's how I've managed to do it. So I'm getting a bit obsessed with sepia brown. So I'm going to look through my other browns, and I do need my little bit of paper. My tester paper. So I was testing to make golds earlier. So I always like that underneath. So I've just got somewhere to kind of just test the colour. You can have it on top if you want. So you can just test your colour before you put it on your page. And these are very, very strong, these. So I don't have any fear of these watercolours going through. But I couldn't use them neat. I couldn't take this off and do this like you can on watercolour, because it'll seep in and it will go through. Even the strongest, except for watercolour paper, because these are technically designed for artists. They are professional watercolours. They are light fast, and they are designed that we need them for our watercolours, for our watercolour paper. But I've decided that I want to use them on my colour pages. I wanted to test them out and see how they do. So just finish my coffee. I can drink cold coffee, but I can't drink cold tea. And I did make this a few hours ago. So thanks for stopping by. This is a live show. But I keep having to terminate the show, so it gets on my nerves a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to do the owls first. I don't normally do that. I normally do my toadstools first. Oh, I don't know. I might do the toadstools first. I've always done toadstool first on all my Kirby's. So I think I might sort of stick to what I know. So again, a bit of stick in the mud, but cadmium red and alizarin crimson. And these markers have a bullet tip and they have a brush tip. Now, I normally only use the brush tip, and I scribble out about the size of a 5p or a dime. And it doesn't matter if I'm using any kind of watercolors. I like this color for acrylics, oils, watercolors, or gouache. I will use alizarin crimson and cadmium red 50-50 for my perfect red mushrooms. Now, we may have a bit of noise now because, as you can hear, everybody's come home. So this is when we get a bit noisy, guys. So if it gets too noisy, I'll have to stop the video, but we'll try. So alizarin crimson and cadmium red. And that's one of my nice favorites. Not too wet, but not too dry either. Sorry, Bungle's having a moan as well. So just gently. Now, the beauty of these is we can go back and put in more colour. But what we can't do is take it away. So we need to wet this paper once and then let it dry. Could be the next day. But it means you could put 30 or 40 layers on here, or glazes, but you must let each one dry out, because otherwise it will go through and it will make a mark and it will disintegrate. And we've got a little tiny one there. So they were very, very soft, and that's fine. I can deal with soft. So let's see if we can find any more little toadstools. Have a look. No more toadstools. So I don't normally like colouring my little creatures, but I think I might actually, I might colour this little one here. So we've got a pink, but this is pink now. I wouldn't call this a colour. So I think I'm actually going to start to colour my little creatures. I think I will. So we'll turn over and make sure that absolutely nothing's gone through on this page whatsoever. So that's quite nice. We wanted that. We have a dragonfly. I've got a bit of pink on the end of here. So I'm just thinking what we need for pink. So I'm going to go around and see what we can find that possibly would be pink. I think these little creatures could be all the same colour, so I'll make them all pink. Now this is a double page, so Bungle knows it's tea time. I like those as yellow ones, but the ones with the tails, I think I'm going to make pink. So you can see this colour is still going. And because it's a professional watercolour. Oh, hi, Darla. Welcome back. Welcome back to Bunny's Designs. This is part 4. Oh, poor Bungs. But we have a bit, we have some, he's slightly different, so I think I might leave him white. Have we got any flowers? Do we have any flowers or roses? No. No, we haven't. We haven't. I've got a feather. Oh, we have a balloon. Let's do the balloon up here. So I think I'll do the balloon. Because I can't waste this watercolour at all. It's just not in my Yorkshire, so tight Yorkshire lass. So we'll put that over there. And then I'm going to put a touch of water to the brush. Now it's going to be very wet now, so to get rid of that. But that's going to dry back. So now I've got a pale pink now, very pale pink. But it's a good test this to see how pale we can actually get it. So and there's going to be a little red basket there. So oh, I could do this kind of handkerchief or tissue or something, whatever it is. Just give it a very soft pink colour. Very soft. So now I clean my brush. I haven't wasted very much. As I say, I don't like my paints to go in the pot. I like them to go on the page. So I think I'm going to concentrate on the owl. So we have a couple of nice colours. There's yellow ochre. And there is also raw sienna. And raw sienna is lighter. Let's see if I can scribble some more on there. So I'm thinking that this little brush is a number 2. It's quite fine. And this is one of my original ones that I had when I was a student. So it's lasting quite well. So I think I'm going to start here. And now we have a drop of water, I think. Because this wants to be quite pale up there. So I'm going to put that round there. And again, I've got a bit of a crinkle because it was quite wet, so that's fine. I've done it once. I'm not going to do it anymore now. I'm going to leave that alone and go and colour in a different area. So I've got this, and this is where my piece of paper comes in. So we're going to pull that down here a bit. So I have raw sienna. I think I want kind of a that's burnt umber. I'm a bit of a burnt umber and a raw umber girl, I have to say. Actually, raw umber looks quite nice. Let's scratch some raw umber in. And I have got a bit of a small dish here, but have a larger plate actually. I wonder where that is. I'm going to forget that in a second. So we've got so actually yellow ochre is darker. So I think I'm gonna go for this one next. Now we can decide whether we want a darker background later on. Now, there's a lot of water on this brush, but I'm just teasing it. And of course, now it's gone to the lighter colour. So that's quite nice. So damp brush, pick at some colour. And we've gone around there. Now, I had intended on doing each individual. Sorry, Bungle's just doing a dive in front of me. I had thought of originally but I think I'm going to put this down first. Put this raw sienna down first, and then I can go in there with some detail for the wings, I think. For the feathers, rather. Sorry, I beg your pardon, the feathers. Oh, hi, Darla. Welcome to Bunny's Designs. Anybody else popping in? What are we doing? There's a small cat running around, but it's like... I don't know what Bungle's doing. He's been a bad boy. So there's a bit there. So what I want to do now is, Bungle, don't be bad. He's having his mad half hour. So we've got some raw umber, and this is an old brush as well, because when I twist it, it goes bing. It has a moment. It's quite old, is this? It's probably as old as me, this brush. I just kind of wanted to put a little bit more dark. But again, we mustn't forget I just want to kind of build up a little bit more. I don't know if I want the sienna in there. I don't know. I think I'm going to have cadmium yellow. I'm going to have to go find a palette for this. Sorry, guys, it's just a bit too messy now, because you end up with mud, and I don't want mud. Just put some raw umber out, and that might work. So you can be as fine detailed or as not, depending on what you want to achieve. And I did think I had that on there, but so you can really kind of pick out some really nice areas, and this is a real nice, again, peaceful way to work. Kind of like it. May have to turn that round. Sorry, guys, and I'm sorry about the. Even I can't see what I'm doing. Even I can't see what I'm doing now. You've got to be comfortable. If you're not comfortable, you can't do it for long, and you'll get fed up and tired. And it's supposed to be an enjoyable thing, not a not enjoyable thing. Oh, thank you, Dan. Thank you. So again, you can just probably would be better if I had a reference, but you can just and I think I'm obsessed with this sepia. Oh, beg your pardon. My raw umber isn't very bright, so I'm going to go in there with some. I can bring a bit more life into it. So it's got to be a nice flowy consistency, and then we can. This is where you possibly could do with a dog hair, really. Just pull out the. I really need to find a finer brush than this, but you can start to really pick out the feathers. But again, this is another hours and hours rather than a 10-minute colouring. So but sometimes you might see something that you want to put a lot of detail on. I think he has a very bright yellow eye, which I don't know if it's gamboge. I want to test the paper, and I don't really like the page on the other side, so please don't do this. But what I'm going to do is use direct colour on this Kirby, and I've used gamboge. So let's have a look at the other side. Absolutely nothing, so that's good. Well, not absolutely nothing, but not absolutely nothing. Right. So I think they have yellow beaks as well, actually. So we'll give him a yellow beak. So actually on the, and that was gamboge, wasn't it, that one? Yep, that was gamboge. And again, even though the little tiny strokes, you've got to be a bit careful. You don't overdo it because it's a wet area. And really, I shouldn't be using sepia because it's not the right brown. And I think it's not really the right fine brush either. This is the thinnest I've got. It seems to work quite well. But I'll just give it a bit longer, see how we do. Again, it's a real nice soft way to work, so you've got to find what works for you. So I'll put that onto there. I think I do fancy a little bit of that yellow ochre, just to warm things up a little bit. Got to get the right consistency. Actually, I think that might take me quite a long time now to do this. Put a bit of warmth in that. So we'll see what we can do. I'm trying to keep the highlight on that one, but we wanted a little bit of warmth on this one. This is probably going to take this is probably something that I shouldn't have started, because it's going to be it's more of an epic journey than a colour book page. Oh, bless hubby, he's just brought me a drink of tea. Hubby's home now, so T-boy's home. T-boy's home. We have a little mouse. I just thought I'd like to just have a bit of a play, so we could have a bit of a paler thing going on down here, I suppose. A bit of warmth. It's nice to put some colour, some kind of warmth in there. So he's growing on me. He's growing on me. I like his eyes and his beak. That's probably all I like at the minute. Let's try the raw umber. Sorry if you shut anything in this house. There we go, Alfie. We thought we'd missed the elf master. Absolutely nobody there, but Nobody there. Can I want to bark, mummy? Can I bark, mummy? Sorry, guys. Elf Master strikes again. So let me have a look. Yeah, I'm getting into this warmer. The burnt sienna is a bit red. Yeah, burnt sienna is probably a bit too red. Really, I think. So we darken it down with whatever else we've got on here. So I really should be working the other way now. So I'm probably going to just very carefully. I want to try and get as much. Don't know why I want realism when. So I'm going to leave that for a minute. Although I'm quite pleased that we can use them a bit stronger on this Kirby Roseanne one. So we'll just do a sap green. We'll just paint that. So just put one coat over there. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Hope you're all okay. I think it's difficult when you're on a different kind of page. Now, if I put some pale on that side, I should get a natural highlight. And then we've got a little creature here, a little caterpillar. I think they're the same size. I don't see them the same, do they? Now with the green, I do like indigo as my go-to shadow. So again, I should really leave this, but we'll just gently. There's nothing gentle about bungle. Sorry guys, there's nothing gentle about bungle. It's a cat. Whoa! Oopsie! Come on. He's just jumped on all the books. He's jumped on the colour books. He's getting a bit it's getting a bit terrible. So again, you can't do too much realism because it's not drawn real. So it's difficult to put real in when it's not real, but if that makes any sense. But I've got a couple of highlights and shadows, and of course the caterpillar is going to make its own shadow anyway. Actually, probably that's as wet as I want to be on there, possibly. But it's nice to know that we can use watercolors. Now, I went over that 3 times. You just see a bit of a shadow there, so you know that's definitely enough now. So let's see if I can get these a darker red now. So thank you for watching. I hope everybody has a pleasant day. Anybody who's got any requests or suggestions, please put them in the space below. Please like and subscribe, and if you want to see any other videos, or there's any videos I've made a bit pants, which is probably most of the early ones probably are a bit pants. Any that you think I could do again that would be interesting, please let me know. The only thing I can't do a lot is the acrylics at the minute. Acrylics and oils. They're not really an option at the minute, but most other things are. Tyler says, "Hello, Kitty." I don't know where he's gone, actually. I don't know where he's gone. So it's going to get noisy now, guys, because everybody's home and it's normally pandemonium around here. So let me just see if I can put some more sepia into our little bird and kind of bring out the eyes a bit more. Because we should be able to make those eyes really pop out. And that magnificent beak as well. So we can get this eye to pop out. Oh, thank you, Tina. Thank you. Welcome back to Bunny's Designs. This is probably part 4 of Thursday. Thank you. If you can get that eye to kind of really pop. So again, I'm not using black, but I'm creating some really nice darks. Let's just have a look at. I still hope they're going to go a long way in the colour books. Haven't done feathers and fur for a long time. So again, this sepia colour seems to be doing quite well. Oh, thank you. Yes, I'll go back to the chameleons just at this minute. I'm not able to use them at the minute. Just at the moment. I just found the Harry Potter book with Hermione in that I did the chameleons in, and I seem to have hurt the wrists at the moment, so we just have to see how we go. So sometimes you do have to turn it round so that you can. Oh, hi, Melvina. Welcome to Bunny's Designs. Anybody else popping in? Just having a play in my Animorphia. And again, it's a book that I've neglected. And I haven't put my little sticker to show that I've started a page, because I put a sticker on top when I start a page, and I put it to the side when I finish. And there's not many on the side, so you need to keep going. I'm enjoying this sepia colour, actually. I think I want to put a darker colour under over the top. And I think I'm going to start working backwards in a second. Just to bring out that side. And again, I'm rushing this. You can take a bit more care. To kind of really darken this section up here. So it's going to be a long job. It's going to be a long job to kind of get all that there. Now, unfortunately, everybody's kind of appeared at home, so and Bungle needs some food, so somebody's going to have to come in and feed him. So I hope you all have a pleasant day. There will be quite a lot of noise now, so the quality of the video would be so bad because we have the stomp monsters about. So I will kind of try to carry on. So I'm sorry, guys, if you've just arrived. It's going to an hour, and it's just going to get too noisy, and the quality of the video will be so bad because there's just be so many distractions. Unfortunately, it'll be better when the girls go back to uni and school and everything calms down a bit. I kind of like this though. See if I can. Can I get a feather effect rather than a. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Thanks for watching on YouTube, and see if anybody. I'm sure there's quite a few videos that I did that were very poor quality. I just want to make the eyes pop out that little bit more, and the owls have this bit here that's. So I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and that's going to be the end of probably part 2 of my Windsor Newton watercolors. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a wonderful afternoon, and hopefully there'll be some impromptu videos throughout the week. The voice is going a bit croaky as well. So have a wonderful day and take care. Thanks for watching.